A lone caravan traveling down the highway from Grimsby to St. Catharines saw dozens of patriotic Canadians, along with local firemen, line every bridge to salute, pay tribute, and mourn the loss of our fallen.
This is the Portraits of Honor tour. It's traveling across Canada. It's stopping in most of the places where there is a fallen soldier from Afghanistan. So it's a mural of the 155, now 156 soldiers, aircrew, and naval who have died in Afghanistan in support of Canada.
The pride artist Dave Sopha feels for our fallen Canadian soldiers is overwhelming.
It came to me in 2008 when I was watching the news and all the papers, hoping that my brother's son, Sean, wasn't going to be on the, or one of the ones that had fallen. When I seen those 100 faces in the newspaper, I was kind of ashamed of myself because I realized it was somebody's loved one that had fallen. And I wanted to do something to show the honor to these young men and women.
The mural represents and honors those brave Canadian men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
We're also on a mission to make sure that every Canadian across Canada kind of shows respect to our Canadian military when they see them, whether they're marching in a parade or if they're just walking around a street. That is one of our goals, and to raise as much money as we can to help those young men and women that are coming home with lasting physical and emotional injuries.
Remember when we heard the news from that far off distant land? They fought and they died, our nation's loss.
I was overwhelmed. The eyes, when you look at them, they're just amazing. They're astounding, that you can actually feel like they're looking at you, all of these people. I saw it before it had been open to the public with our organization, and it was just, all I can say is it was overwhelming.
Shortly after starting the project, Dave realized it was an obsession and felt he had to keep painting.
We now have young Carl Manning. Carl came home about 2 weeks ago. We were in Trenton. That wasn't planned that way. We were at the Air Force Base when Carl came home. I put him here as a sketch because I knew I couldn't paint him. The day before we left is when young Carl Manning died. So when I heard about it, I sketched him out so he would be with us on this tour. Sometime along the tour, I'll get a day to myself, which has been pretty hard, and I'm going to start painting him on the canvas.
Residents from across Niagara came out to pay their respects.
I have some cousins who are in the military too, who are actually in the Army, so we wanted to come out and see the portraits today.
Remember their names, recognize a face. It's when you look into their eyes, it's when you realize.
It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing that the artist is doing this. It's just an incredible thing. Words can't describe it. It's amazing. I mean, like my cousin has some friends who are up there, so just seeing them and after hearing about it, it's amazing.
156 souls traveling across Canada, each portrait with its own story to tell.
I want them to take away the pride that I had when I seen the 100 soldiers had died, the emotion. Being that it's a large painting with everyone on it, it screams remembrance, and maybe people will stand up and do that from here on in. More people may show up at our cemeteries and our cenotaphs on November the 11th because of these young men and women as well.
The Portraits of Honor National Tour gives Canadians the opportunity to remember, honor, and celebrate the men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice while serving in Afghanistan. In Niagara, you're watching The Source.
Remember when we heard the news from a far off distant land? They fought and they died, our nation's lost.